My name is Angela Owens with Phenomenal Business Solutions, and I help car dealerships streamline their finances, increase their profits, and grow their businesses. Today's topic is going to be on compliance. We're going to be navigating automotive compliance to avoid costly legal mistakes. Today, I'm going to be covering a few laws that are in place. And in this particular presentation, I'm just going to define them. And I think I'm going to do another presentation, a separate presentation to dig deeper into those laws and how to stay compliant with those. So today, I'm just going to kind of gloss over it just to give you an introduction to them. And then next time, I'm going to break those down and tell you how it applies to your dealership. So compliance matters to protect your dealership from fines and penalties, maintain your dealership license and reputation, and avoid costly legal disputes and lawsuits. And it also builds customer trust and credibility. So these are the key areas of dealership compliance, and I'm going to go through each one separately. But today we're going to be covering the licensing and business registration, sales and finance regulations, advertising and marketing compliance, consumer protection laws, employment and payroll compliance, and environmental and safety regulations. So with licensing and business registration, depending on your state, you want to maintain a valid dealer's license and renew it on time. Sometimes they want you to renew it 30 to 60 days before so that you'll have time for everything to go through. Some states may not have a grace period, so you need to check with your state to see when you need to start the renewal process so that you won't miss it and so that you won't be in violation of operating without a dealer license. You also need to ensure proper zoning and business permits. Now, you will probably already have that before you even get your license, because when you apply for your license, you have to already be zoned properly and have the proper permits for your state. And also the record keeping requirements. Texas, I believe, you have to keep your records for at least 5 years. So just check with your state and see if digital is okay as well, because sometimes they want you to have all originals, but if digital is okay, then you need to make sure that you can be able to scan everything, and that will be sufficient for your record keeping. Then we have the sales and finance compliance. So you want to follow the Truth in Lending Act. And the Truth in Lending Act is, it requires you to disclose information about all charges and fees associated with loan. And that will be required more so for the financing, but even when you do get third-party financing, you still want to explain to your customers what the interest and everything is going to be so that they can understand their contract that they are signing. And so you want to accurately disclose all fees and financing terms and maintain proper documentation just in case you get audited. And you also want to ensure fair lending practices with the ECOA, which is the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. And that helps to make sure that you are not discriminating against anyone and only favoring certain people and offering credit to certain people based on things that have nothing to do with the sale. Then you have advertising and marketing compliance. You don't want to have any deceptive or misleading ads. There's FTC regulations for that. And you want to clearly state terms and conditions and promotions, and also disclose vehicle history and pricing truthfully. So if you tell someone, if you post online that something costs $5,000 and then they get in and you want to charge them $7,000, that's being unfair and you can get in trouble for that. And also you want to make sure, I know in Texas, if you post you are not allowed to have online only discounts. So if you post a price online and selling it for a different price for somebody that walks up, that is a violation of the advertising and marketing compliance. So just be careful with how you advertise everything. If you want to do a sale, a discount, you have to do it across the board and not for certain people. So then consumer protection laws, you want to follow the FTC used car rule, which is that you have to put the buyer's guide in the window so that they can understand, what's going on with the car. And because especially if you're selling a used car, and it's as is, they need to fully understand what they are purchasing when they purchase a car from you. And you can be subject to a $53,000 penalty per violation. So make sure that you are staying within the guidelines for that. And you want to provide accurate warranties and disclosures. Make sure that they understand what they are purchasing when they purchase the warranty, and make sure they fully understand what is covered. And you also want to ensure fair and legal sales contracts. Okay, then we got the employment and payroll compliance. So you want to adhere to the Fair Labor Standards Act, which you have to at least be paying them minimum wage. And then if they work overtime, you need to make sure that they are getting paid time and a half, and make sure you are not working children beyond what is applicable for law. Then you want to also properly classify employees versus independent contractors. So you may have a mix of both in your dealership. For example, let's say that you have a mechanic that comes in and he has his own business, or he works for several different dealerships, or something like that. He's possibly a independent contractor. He comes when he wants to. He sets his own schedule. He sets his own price and things like that. But if you have a mechanic and he's on site for a 8 to 5, 40 hours a week or more, and he only works for you, and he has to be there when you tell him to be there, most likely he will classify as an employee. And you can get more information from that online and compare what makes someone an employee versus an independent contractor. And you need to make sure that you keep those together and separate, because the independent contractor, when they get a 1099 at the end of the year, they are going to have to be able to deduct their expenses. But if you're covering everything for them, then now they have a high tax bill because they won't even be able to deduct anything. So make sure that you focus on that, and then comply with the workplace safety standards with OSHA. Then we got the environmental and safety regulations. You want to properly dispose of hazardous materials like batteries. If you, replacing batteries, you can't just throw those in the trash. Even the oil, like when you do an oil change, you can't just throw the oil in the trash. You have to check with your city and see where you can dispose of those things so that you don't cause a problem when you just put it in the trash. And you want to maintain safety standards in vehicle repairs and inspections, and stay compliant with the emission and fuels regulations. In Texas, some counties require you to still get an emissions test, even though they don't do the safety inspection anymore. Some counties still require the emissions. So make sure you stay on top of that. And these mistakes you want to avoid. You want to avoid misleading financing or pricing and advertising, incomplete or improper record keeping, failure to disclose vehicle history accurately, non-compliance with lending and credit laws, and ignoring employee classification and payroll laws. These things can really cause a big problem either right away or later on down the line. So try to do as much as possible correctly. And as you learn more, what they say is, as you learn better, do better. So everybody won't always get it right the first time, but as soon as you find out something's not happening correctly, then work on fixing it. And that is something that I could definitely help you out with and keep you in compliance. So here's steps to strengthen your compliance. You want to conduct regular internal audits. You want to train the employees on the compliance and regulations. Keep updated with state and federal laws, maintain accurate and detailed records, and work with a compliance professionals or consultant. And a lot of states have a lot of different laws that they may change, whether it's laws or just policies that they have. So make sure you stay on their emailing list if they have that, or have someone to check the state website at least once a month to see if anything's changed, because you can't really tell them that you didn't know. So you have to make sure that you try your best to stay on top of things with your state to make sure that you stay in compliance. And I am able to assist you with that if that's something that you will be interested in. So I would love to sit down with you and give you a free profit and cash flow analysis, and also to just work with you and help you to stay compliant, help you to get your workflows in order and keep your finances in order. Really just everything that you need to work on so that you can go out and sell cars and do what you do best and allow me to be your support. So I'm Angela Owens with Phenomenal Business Solutions, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful day.